Hey, folks. So, I know it's been a few days, but I finally got around to sit down and talk about the third episode of House of the Dragon. So, I didn't get to see it on the night of because I was out of town with the missus. We were celebrating our birthdays. September is the month of our both of our birthdays, which is pretty cool. And so we went out of town just to have a little fun. We went and saw Jaws at the IMAX theater. Maybe I'll post a video on that. It's a classic. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If you get a chance to see it on IMAX, by all means. Anyway, didn't get home till late Tuesday, and I finally got to see the episode early Wednesday morning before I went to work, and finally got to sit down in front of the microphone and talk about House of the Dragon. So, I'm going to say it right off the bat. This episode was by far my favorite episode so far. Obviously, we've only had 3, but we've had 3 solid episodes, but this episode was by far, in my opinion, the best, had the best character development with all characters involved. We had the king. It's been 3 years since between the two episodes, and the king is married, has a kid, has a son actually, and he's expecting another one along the way. Everybody is, expecting him to make the boy his heir because that's how tradition works. He still wants his daughter to be heir. She is thinking he's going to give it to the son, so she's kind of rebellious. And she's now 18, so she's full rebellious mode. She's still not happy that her best friend is now the queen. So there's a lot of intrigue. I mean, it's insane for about as much as been done in 3 episodes. Well acted. So far, the pacing, I'm still having issues with. Obviously, between episodes 1 and 2, we had 6 months. Between 2 and 3, we had, 3 years. So it's going to be interesting how it goes so far. But, we had the king, hunting, looking for a stag. And that was interesting because if you guys remember, in the first season of the original Game of Thrones, when the king went hunting for a boar, he was kind of by himself, with a couple of guys around him. Well, here is this huge party, and the guys are hunting the boar for him, and they actually, not even the boar, the stag, they hunt, they actually catch the stag, and I know I'm going deep in the woods of this episode, but I just wanted to talk about it. I figured if you're listening, you're not really looking for a non-spoiler, you're just wanting to know my thoughts. I'm just really enjoying how this episode goes. And I apologize, I still have this cough from... Anyway, moving on. So, I have to say, with all of that, still, and it's amazing how this show is able to manipulate the audience. This show made a vile character where, at least in my opinion, we weren't supposed to like this person. In the 3rd episode, they turned him around from basically being, a bad guy or whatever, to a good guy. And if you're a fan of wrestling, they made a heel a face with Daemon Targaryen. They went to war in the 2nd episode against, Crab Feeder or whoever the, bad guy is, faceless or out, the bad guy, okay? And it's been 3 years. They're losing the war. They're starting to turn on themselves. Not necessarily in mutiny, but they're getting pretty close. And so they're in desperate mode. And Daemon Targaryen, once he hears some news that he doesn't want to hear, he looks at everybody and goes, "Screw it, I'll do it myself." And he goes right out there and he wrecks shop. Now, it was kind of far-fetched, for the scene, but still, it was a pretty cool scene. And I have to say, by the end of the episode, I was looking at Daemon Targaryen and go, you know what? As much of a prick he was in the first two episodes, the dude, he's got it going on. I won't deny he was able to make himself look very good in front of everybody else. And sometimes, that's what the bad guy needs to do. He needs to, step up, and that's what Daemon Targaryen did. So, having, once again, I haven't read the books, but having seen this, it looks like Daemon Targaryen is going to pull a lot of favor, with particular troops of the different groups. I forget I forget the other families. The people from, I think, was it Valeria or what you have. Uh, but it looks like he's going to pull a lot of favor with the different families that were at war with him, and so he's gonna be a formidable foe, I think, for the remainder of the season. Excellent acting by everybody. It was a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed it so much. I am definitely dialed in on this season of House of the Dragon. It's looking to be compelling. I'm kind of saddened that the showrunner of this season has opted to not return next season for whatever reason. I'm guessing, with House of the Dragon being under the old regime before Warner Brothers Discovery, took over. Actually, Discovery took over, and David Zaslav. I'm guessing they ordered, season 2 and probably wanted more and gave him less money, or said, hey, we need it ASAP. Probably put the guy in a situation to where he said, you know what, I'm stepping out, I'm dipping. But it looks like he's gonna be working on some other shows, so who knows? HBO does some weird things behind the scenes, from what I've read, when it comes to how they handle their shows and the people who run them. So who knows? But all I know is I'm enjoying the show. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully it's not 10 years in the future. Hopefully we're going, maybe, 6 months or a year or what have you. Previews looks interesting. So that's all I got to say. It looks a whole lot of fun. What did you guys think? Did you guys like it? Let me know. Post in the comments below. We can talk about it. If not, it's all good. But if you like what I had to say, by all means, hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, help me out. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers. It's been a while, but it's perfectly fine. It's all good. I do this for fun. But you can always hit that subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good one.